Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
All kids out of the pool for Adult Swim. All kids out.
Lego Lord of the Rings Balrog raised eyebrows for what some fans say is an unfortunate pose. I see it. I see it. Oh, I see it. It's taking a piss on Gandalf.
You shall not!
Pee. And he says to her, listen, you got a fine white girl ass. So I don't like the look of this D. Listen, I don't need gay or straight boner pills. My boner works just fine.
Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is Sanusi?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
Yeah, I want to see movies! I think I've died and gone straight to honker heaven. Boobs are amazing.
Amazing. Hail and howdy. And my voice is still not all good. Hail and howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Dive, the Double Ds, where you, the chat, the gatekeepers, are in charge. Papa Nurgle can't keep me down. He touched me on the shoulder and said, you are sick, young man. And I said, no, Papa Nurgle. No, Papa Nurgle. I am not going to be sick for more than a day. Hail and howdy, you guys. How you doing? I am better. I'm clearly better. I got more energy. I'm able to keep my food down. I did throw up twice yesterday after we went off stream. I threw up twice. One involuntarily and the second time voluntarily because it didn't all come up the first time. But yeah, so it was a rough day yesterday. I had to, as soon as we were off camera, threw up, cleaned up, shut it down, threw up again, shut it down some more. And I was in bed the rest of the day. So much so that I must apologize to Kel and the others of Final Fantasy 14. I forgot to put a bid in on the house, and I almost made it. I was a minute late. I almost made it to get it in this morning when I remembered. So we did not even participate in the last round of these houses. I'm sorry. I really am. I feel bad about that. But I am doing better. Hail to the gatekeepers. We got a lot to do today. We got to finish up yesterday's videos. We're going to go over the news. And we'll see what else comes up. That's it. The goal today is to finish up what went down yesterday, with videos from yesterday, and to go through the news like normal. I have nothing to talk about because I was in bed all day yesterday. I don't have any stories, no ideas, no nothing. My doom scrolling, my scanning of news, nothing jumped out at me that I want to talk about. I mean, I could talk about the weird dream I had where I got abandoned in the McDonald's by people, and I had to deal with their autistic server that they all loved, and they all got angry at me because I treated him like he was annoying because he kept pushing by me all the time asking for salt. But I that you don't want to hear that dream. You don't. It was weird and not even entertaining. It was just disturbing. But that's sicky dreams. Anyway, so thanks everybody yesterday for hoping I get better, and clearly I have. I've gotten around the hump. I'm still hacking up some nasty shit, but I've already eaten a decent breakfast today, a good one of my normal ones, and it seems to have not turned on me. Whatever was in my stomach seems to have passed. I got a little bit of a throat thing, as you can hear, going on. No nose, and I'm still hacking shit up. So shut up. See, now that I'm better, it's hey, let's bring it back to normal. Let's keep it going. Kratos, I will try for tomorrow to do Scary Movie. I think I can get through it tonight. So we'll try for Scary Movie. Chat me, watch us reviews tomorrow afternoon. We'll try for that tomorrow. Okay. And yes, Jed, I am doing better. Hail to Algrim, hail to Legatus, hail to everybody else who's watching. Let's get right into it, guys. Let's dive in. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to dive into the news. We're just going to dive right in. We're going to get through the news, and then we're going to watch the videos. And if anything from the news or anything else comes up, you guys can then do it, because the rules now remain the same. You know, actually, I am going to add in one story. One I didn't get to do yesterday. I am going to rant on that. Do I want to rant on that or not? I don't know. It's kind of past already. Anyway, so you could do a rant today, but I don't know how well I'll do it with my voice. It might not be powerful enough. Usual $10, ask me a question. I'll tell you no lies. We'll have discussions about that. $15 gets you the good old-fashioned hot take instant reaction to an article we see in the news or one you may be sitting on. $20 gets you me reacting to a video, whether I like it or not. And $30 gets you chat, maybe watch us reviews. And I will have to keep drinking, though, to keep the voice going. I got that little bit of the post-nasal sting. I don't really have a post-nasal drip, but for some reason I have the post-nasal sting. And that's making it hard to talk. But it's okay. It's all right. All right. So let's go through the news of today. We'll see if anything jumps out on us. I almost sound normal today. Yeah, thanks. I have the energy. I don't have the voice. My throat is it's a little squeaky, as you can hear. It's a little squeaky, but I'm doing better. I am better. All right. So what we're gonna do is go through the news. It's gonna crack a lot. Can't help that. We'll go through the news, and then we'll go back and continue watching the Tau lore video that we were watching yesterday before I had to go throw up. Let me refresh these real quick. And one of the things about the news is balancing what I think is worth our time, what you guys seem to want to talk about, or what I think is a waste of time. Because let's be honest, a lot of the things people cover in the news is really worth only about 30 seconds to 2 minutes of discussion. Finally hit puberty. Oh, shit. You know what? I'll take that. I will take it because I didn't get a chance to put a bid in on the houses that went up today because I forgot because I was in a fetal position half the day in bed. So I'll take the hits. I'll take the hits. Yeah, here we go. Final second period. Yeah, here we go. All right. Let's get into the news. We're gonna dive right in. Diving right in. Okay. It ends with us. I don't care. I wish it would end completely. You people in your goddamn frivolous lawsuits against each other. I mean, here's how retarded this is. Hollywood people suing each other. I don't care if these Hollywood people are suing each other. It's retarded. Don't care. I don't know. I don't know why I keep getting sick this year. Obviously, I don't think there's a problem with my immune system because I get sick, but I kick it really quickly. My immune system fights it off. I never had a fever with this one. And clearly it's some sort of infection because I'm hawking up nasty shit. But I don't know why I keep getting sick. I just think there's a lot of dirty motherfuckers out there who are walking around coughing shit into the air, and I just walk through it at the wrong time. And I get it. So, Bill McGlue, I don't know who that is. He's some rando at Fox News who gives a fuck about Fox News. I don't know who that is. CNN's Thanksgiving coverage. Who cares? No one watches CNN. These are things I don't care about. HBO boss Casey Boys on Warner Bros. Discovery sale. Harry Potter TV series timeline and using The Pit as model for Max shows. Well, I wouldn't want to model Harry Potter because you're still doing race swaps with that shit. I wouldn't model that. Listen, we've said this before. Whoever gets Warner Discovery, they get HBO Max, and they're getting one of the more successful, stable streaming platforms. And you're going to get to dump all your shows on there. That it'll be weird if Netflix gets it, but if you're Comcast Universal or if you're Paramount Plus, I think you just fold everything, all your shows into HBO Max. That's the thing. I think that's what happens because HBO has enough power to draw people in. Fuck off, you think? Oh, so I ordered some stuff yesterday. They say failed to deliver at 8:45, and all they do is leave it in front of my goddamn door. So I said to this specifically, just leave it in front of my door, please. Don't make me walk down to the fucking hub. Leave it in front of my door. How do you fail to deliver when you just have to leave it in front of a door? What are you, retarded? Can't find my address in the complex? No, I didn't sing my heart out to Dermy. I sang a shit to Dermy. Hulu premiered documentary special Living Proof. Don't give a crap. I don't know who Gary Manny is. More music crap. Don't know what that is. All right, let's keep going. The best celebrity memoirs and biographies to give this year. All right, who wants to read a celebrity memoir? Anybody? How bored with life are you that you want to read a celebrity memoir? I don't. You probably don't. Don't you have a game to play? Don't you have a real book to read? You could go jerk off. I need to read a celebrity memoir. Kevin Spacey says he's homeless and living in hotels. His Hollywood exile would be over if Scorsese or Tarantino called tomorrow. Well, Tarantino's not going to call because he's only doing one more movie, and Scorsese is old and doesn't make good movies anymore. Listen, maybe if you didn't do sketchy things and have gay weirdness, you wouldn't be exiled. Maybe if you weren't a sketchy creep, Kevin Spacey. Maybe. Just maybe. Growth Day launches new fast channel featuring wellness and self-improvement content. There's nothing wrong with that. It just looks really gay there. Imagine turns 40. Ron Howard and Brian Grazer on 8 Mile disagreements, rise of AI, and which of their hits would be sent to streaming today. Hey, Ron Howard, I have a question for you. What would it be like for your daughter if she wasn't a Nepo baby? But what would it be like? Because your daughter's a Nepo baby. So I got to get a dig in there. Come on. Don't care. Game of Thrones prequel Night's Kingdoms renewed for season 2 ahead of series premiere. Of course it is. House of Dragon renewed for season 4. Of course it is. Because I know I'm in the minority. Fuck Germ. Fuck all his shit. Germ is crap. His shows are crap. His stories are crap. Nihilism is not the way. But no, everybody loves it. Oh, Game of Thrones. Guys of Fire. It's so great. It's so good. Oh, we want to watch all these people be horrible. Oh, we want to show no heroes. Now I know that 97 Kingdoms is an actual hero, but it's another unfinished fucking show from Germ. Because the guy can't finish, can't stick the landing, can't even plan it out because he's an exploratory writer. Oh, I have to write and see where it goes. Liar. You just don't have any ideas. You fat fuck. Listen, if you like it, that's fine. I just question your taste. That's all. Hang on, I got to blow my nose. Okay. Baywatch reboot lands $21 million tax credit film in LA. We're getting another Baywatch. They rebooted it with a movie. Do we need a more Baywatch? I mean, listen, here's the problem with a modern day Baywatch. They're going to throw trannies out there, man. I get a goddamn troon. Don't trust it. Amir I don't care. Don't care. I don't know what the chair company even is. Rachel Sonata, I Love LA, Renewed Season 2. I don't know what any of these shows are. Clearly, HBO went on. That's funny. They're about to be sold, and they went on a renewing spree. I guess there must be some sort of wording, whatever purchase deal is going to happen, that anything that's been greenlit has to be allowed to be made. That's all I can think of for that. Otherwise, why are you so hot to renew shit? Again, Tasker. Okay, all these HBO shows renewed because I guess there must be some sort of wording in the upcoming deal that will say current shows in production must be allowed to be produced. Netflix promises to keep Warner Brothers movies in theaters if it wins deal to buy company. Well, you might want to might not want to put Hunt for Gollum in the theaters because that's going to do shit. Nobody wants that movie. Nobody's asking for that movie. That's going to be terrible. The Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping got a trailer today. How is that franchise still going? The Rachel Zegler one barely made enough to buy somebody a sandwich. And I guess they read the books, but nobody really watches the movies. Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter Waiting for Godot. Revival recoups $7.5 million investment. Hey, good for them. TV Academy sets August 2026 date for the return of Televerse Festival. I don't even know what that is. Disney Store. Yeah, good luck with that. Disney's losing money. Donald Trump goes after Kimmel. Good. But he's not going to get him fired. Kimmel's own failures are getting him fired. K-pop Demon Hunters, Wicked, Sinners, and F1 among honorees at Hollywood Music Media. I also saw that K-pop Demon Hunter has been pulled from the UK because people for reasons I don't know, weird. It's not a terrible. It's not an offensive movie. It's just a little retarded. Excuse me. Okay, don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Jennifer Beals. I'd still do Jennifer Beals. She's still hot. I'd hit that. You can tell I'm feeling better. I'm thinking about sex again. Nothing here. Nothing here. Friends spinoff Joey finally released its final 800 unaired episodes nearly 20 years later. Wow. You forget Joey happened. I didn't know they didn't air 8 episodes. And this is from yesterday. It says, anything here had happened after I'd passed out. Nothing. Wicked comes out today. Wicked movie out today. All right, nothing there. All right, let's move on to here. Godfall developers reveal new game Armatus, a third-person action game set in messed up Paris. Okay. I guess we'll keep an eye on that one. Borderlands, nobody cares. Darn game. Matt Damon revealed Tom Holland called Sony to arrange 70mm screening of a classic for the Odyssey cast. Sure. Don't care about Xbox. Nobody's being robbed of their trilogies. Toy Story 5 director defends Disney's decision to make yet another sequel. Listen, I have no horse in the Toy Story in the Toy Story saga. I watched the first one. I watched the second one. They were okay, and I dipped out after that because you know what? I didn't find any sort of joy in watching those movies. I found them rather plain and boring in the end. And after 3 and 4, it sounds like after 3 was well accepted, but then 4 was shit on. It's milking. It's milking, and I almost did something there. It's milking, and it's not good. Just leave it alone. Okay, we just saw that. Marvel Star roadmap for Game of Thrones confirms 97 Kingdoms. Yeah, it's just I already talked about that. Surprise! Silent Hill 2 remake Shadow drops an Xbox Series XS with 50% launch discount. Prime Video testing video recaps AI feature for C programming. No thanks. Again, who cares about Hunger Games? Battlefield 6 is just the best month of sales in the U.S. Any game in 5 years. That's good. Games Workshop shares soar once again as Warhammer 40K company flags big profits despite expected Space Marine 2 royalties slow down. Listen, even though they're dicks, people are going to buy the plastic crack, dude. I've never seen Toy Story 3, so I can't claim that I didn't cry because I've never seen it. But yeah, so for Games Workshop may be asshole, but they make tons of fucking money. Pokemon Theme Park Japan has a Pokemon Forest that will be forbidden for quite a few people. Okay. Fortnite Chapter 7 leaks confirm new USA-based map likely once set to launch alongside GTA 6. Quality Black Ops 7 endgame unlocks tomorrow for all players. No, it doesn't matter because nobody's fucking playing your game. Don't expect the Steam Machine to price to follow console pricing model of $500. Well, it should be anything over $500, and it's going to be a tough sell because it needs to be an in-between thing. Ah, my throat. Dude, my throat hurts. As NASA unveils new Comet 3I Atlas details and Clash of Clans is threatened by an asteroid, YouTube scientist Hank Green reveals if we should be getting... What? That sounds like a lot of bullshit right there. I don't even know what they're talking about. Marvel will acknowledge superhero fatigue in its self-aware Hollywood set TV show Wonder Man. Oh, that show's going to be so bad. It's going to be retarded. They think they're getting... They think with Wonder Man that they're doing something smart by being self-aware, but it's just jokes on you. That's not going to improve anybody's opinion of what you're doing. Disney inks huge Frozen 3 and Frozen 4 pay deal with $60 million each for Kristen Bell and Josh Gad and Idina Menzel. And those movies they're not gonna do well. They're not gonna do great. They might eke out things. I mean, because listen, does anybody care about Frozen 3 and Frozen 4? Does anybody at this point? I think that magic is gone. I think that magic is gone. I don't think it's there, man. I don't at all. Watch me be proven massively wrong. And I'll have to admit it. Arc Raiders dev to end support for the finals. PS4 version of Focus, our support on current generation hardware. That's good. The finals, that fell off big time. I don't care about the Subnautica drama shit. Dispatch tops 2 million players, tells fans it wouldn't be here without you. Players. Not sales players. This roguelike had a perfect streak of 500 positive Steam reviews, but it was just broken. Ghost GOT dropped off. Fortnite finale event trailer puts the spotlight on Kill Bill and Star Wars cameos. Whatever. Why is there a post about Half-Life announcement today? That was from yesterday. Yeah, I guess I did hear the rumors that Half-Life 3 may actually be happening. Heard those rumors. That's all I got for that. I never played the first 2 games. I was never interested. People can say, "Oh, you're not a gamer." Just because I'm not interested doesn't make me not a gamer. All right, that's it. There. J.K. Rowling arrives on set as HBO pushes forward with Harry Potter reboot series. Well, then, why did you allow Black Snape? Disney's Bob Iger faces decade of staggering underperformance compared to stock market. Oh, well, hey. Wow. Big fucking surprise that Bob Iger has been revealed to be one of the worst CEOs of all time. That all his acquisitions have, in the end, lost billions for the company. Billions. Epic University's 32nd annual Thea Awards. This was just one award at bar. Okay, don't care about awards. Don't care. And that's basically all of yesterday. That's all of it. So we've caught up on the news. I'm sticking to it. You guys can think about those if there's anyone in there. And now we have to now fulfill our bargains from yesterday. Hang on, I gotta blow my nose again. Wait a second. That is retarded. I agree. That's retarded. That is retarded. I agree. It's true a lot right there. It is true a lot. Transformer Snape and True Snape and Black Snape. Anyway, okay, let's get back on the wagon. We have videos to finish watching here. Let's get back to the Tau. We were almost halfway through it. We're still at increased speed just because my voice is barely holding up. I'm better, but my voice is not holding up here. So we're going to keep on going with this. All right, so let's do this. Let's keep going. So just as a recap, if I remember correctly, because I was kind of out of it. Tau found early by Empire, Imperium of Man. We're not going to ignore it. They were going to strip mine the planet, but the Horus Heresy happened, and they got distracted for 4,000 years. Then they came back and found out that the Tau had miraculously technologically evolved in 4,000 years of space travel, where they have now basically been scooping up territory. And it all started when the Ethereals, the 5th element, basically had their multipass, and they unified and started basically doing space communism with caste system. Is that's the gist of it, right? Kel, is that the gist of it? I think I got the gist of it from my fuzzy memory from yesterday. I think that's the gist of it. So there we go. Let's bring this back to this guy right here, who we're going to keep him sped up because his voice is sleepy. Okay, Age of Apostasy. Okay, thank you. Age of Apostasy. Sorry. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. I had the wrong. See, sick. All I remember was apostasy and heresy, and I crossed my wires. But okay, there we go. Okay. Thank you, Kel. Wait a minute. What the fuck? Midstream. Midstream, they just switched you guys to the ats. Midstream. Fuck you, YouTube. And that's Kel. Oh, and now you're back to normal. What the fuck? Fuck you, YouTube. And now it's back. What the fuck? All right, let's keep going. Give my voice a chance to rest for a couple minutes here.
In the center of their foreheads plays some role, but results as to its purpose have yielded inconclusive results. Other theories speculate that the ethereals control the lower ranked Tau with some biological chemical.
Okay, so now we're in the middle of how are the ethereals controlling the Tau? Because it seems weird. It seems weird. And we're going to drop it back to 1.25, so we don't need to have it at 1.5. We'll drop back to 1.25.
Means exuding like a pheromone or even some low-level latent psychic ability, except that the Tau, as far as we know, have no real psychers in their own race. Now, whether this collective control is a more passive influence, leading the lower caste to simply be more open to suggestion, or if it is in fact a far more aggressive and enslaving sense of control, is open to discussion. I lean more towards the sense that it lies somewhere between this direct control and passive suggestion, that perhaps some Tau are more easily influenced than others. It's also possible that for many Tau this guidance is only partly necessary. The strength of an ideology can be very persuasive, and maybe the ethereals are only needed to keep your average Tau in check. There's no disputing, though, that those who exist within the Tau Empire are living a lie, whether they know it or not. And this is evidenced by the fact that Tau who are cut off from their ethereals seem to revert to a pre-greater good sense of individuality, which is the Tau's ideology.
Okay, so that's interesting. So whoever these ethereals are, they're mind-fucking the entire species to do what they want. So it is a sense, they mentioned yesterday, I guess there is a hive mind aspect going on here. It's definitely a hive mind aspect going on. Are we going to get that revealed? Do we just not know yet? I guess we just don't know yet.
To be believed and taken as they themselves describe it seems extremely unlikely. If you were absolutely convinced and indoctrinated into your society's ideology and philosophies, why would you then so abruptly abandon this at the first opportunity, and more specifically doing so when ethereals are absent? It clearly points towards ethereals having a far more proactive and sustained process of mental control over the lower Tau castes. And you can also look at how some allied races within the Tau Empire, such as the Vespid, will wear communion helms that are in air quotes for communication. Read, in actuality, necessary ongoing mental manipulation and control. The conclusion to take away is that the Tau are in actuality far from being an advanced and civilized race. It's simply their propaganda. They are not unified by a philosophy or logical ideology that all conveniently agree to live by without question for the positive betterment of others. They are instead, quite tragically, more like an enslaved race of minions, similar even to the Tyranids or the Necron. They exist tethered to the ethereals by a force ultimately unknown, and who, without their presence, would likely resort to smashing each other's skulls in just as they had done in the past. Or
so they'd be very orcish then. So when left to their own devices, the Tau are very orcish. They'd rather fight each other and kill shit than be unified. So this is a bit of a tragedy. And I wonder what the truth is. I wonder what the truth is. Because I don't, the ethereals can't be chaos. I don't think they're chaos. Because this isn't chaos style. A new party might be entering the game.
at the very least just going off and doing their own things. And all the Tau's achievements and the speed of these have been thanks to their collective cooperation, and it's likely that without the Ethereals, the Tau would face obliteration by the Imperium and the other arguably more vicious Xenos inhabiting the galaxy. In many ways, bearing this in mind, you may consider to yourself, well, this is surely a good thing. The Ethereals enabling the Tau to collectively achieve what they could not on their own, and allow them to function and come together as a constructive force. And as with so many events that occur in the bleak darkness...
No, it's not a good thing. Living a lie is never a good thing. Living a lie is not a good thing. Not at all.
To the far future, it is in fact more often the apparently positive events which can on further reflection reveal a far darker narrative once you begin to scratch away the surface. The Tau in that regard are no exception. Constructive achievement, yes, but paying a high price of mental enslavement, never being their true selves, how aware are they of this fact, and how aware are the Ethereals? It's very difficult to say, but the Tau, though, for sure are able to think for themselves, formulate decisions, intent, invent, but it's the way in which they're unified that is an uncomfortable reality. Now, I've seen many state that the Tau are the closest thing that exists to having a race led by a positive, constructive hope in the 41st millennium. And in truth...
Oh, shut up. No, how is it a positive hope to be dumped into a caste system? Sorry, you're locked into a caste system. You don't get to grow beyond what we tell you to grow beyond. That's not hope. That's enslavement.
This only works if you ignore and dismiss the fact that the Tau are in all likelihood operating as a society of brainwashed slaves. And while it's true that their goals and diplomatic interactions are far more subtle and arguably positive than that of the alternatives, I find myself asking what's worse, being forced into a course of action without the ability to have your own free will, albeit debatably and comparatively positive, or choosing with your own individual and intact sense of self to adhere to your society's chosen system, or to abandon it and suffer the consequences, but at least making your own decision and knowing your sense of self. I still would argue that when you look around the galaxy, two races who represent represent the true, purest sense of purpose are the orcs and the Tyranids. Yes, both are unspeakable alien killing machines that salivate at the mere prospect of killing in the name of, but does it make them ostensibly
Whoa. You could say that for the orcs. You could definitely say that for the orcs. But the Nids don't consume out of they're not consuming for the fun of it. It's just what they are. Absorbent, feed the hive mind, absorb all matter and create. It's more the Nids exist to just grow. Orcs find fun of that. That's a complete, in my opinion, mischaracterization of the Nids. Complete mischaracterization.
bad, evil even? I think not. Because they're just doing what they do. They're doing what they're designed to do, and the orcs are loving it. To be clear, the Tau themselves are not a bad race, depending on your point of view, of course, but they do have a bleak life once you begin to speculate a little around how the ethereals control the Tau. They were forcibly indoctrinated into it. Do they have a subconscious understanding that all of this is happening without their real consent? Do they dream of freedom and self-determination, only to awake to another day of reality and mental enslavement? If it weren't for the ethereals forcibly pushing the Tau toward their goals of total unification, they would, as we said, still be camped out around each other's settlements, happy to watch each other die of starvation, disease, and complete emotional and societal breakdown. A race of forward-thinking, progressive, generally peaceful Xenos who only use violence when they must? If that's how you see the Tau, then maybe the ethereals' mind control has started to pierce your consciousness as well. It's easy and certainly appealing as to why some would want to see the Tau as being a positive, uplifting, and alternative force to the unashamed horror and brutality that pervades the rest of the galaxy. Yet when it comes to the devolved, the vicious, or the pretentious entities that qualify as civilizations in the rest of the galaxy, you could at least say that their crusades, their wars, battles, and genocides were honest, that they owned their intentions, allowed others to witness them, and knew both the strength of their words and their actions, for better or worse. The reason the Tau, to me, are so abhorrent despite their more progressive veneer is that in truth they're neither. They live a lie, and worse, allow themselves to be manipulated into a lie that they're likely not even aware of. And it can surely only be a matter of time for an event befitting the darkness of the far future to occur, where it must surely come to pass that the Tau, through some catastrophic slaughter of ethereals, perhaps some highly focused campaign of assassination by the Imperium, hint, that subsequently throw the Tau once again back into total anarchy and civil war, leaving them ripe for the plucking. This seems to be not simply a plausible possibility, but knowing how events so regularly befall those in the 41st millennium, this crushing downfall based on their precarious structure of fallacy seems an inevitability. The Tau, a force for good, they're the worst of them all, and their day of ruination will come.
Wow, he got angry there, although his passion was still lacking. If we didn't have him sped up, he'd be talking so slowly. I would wonder if he actually did care. He's not wrong. I mean, I'm sure from a storytelling perspective, something's going to happen. But then here's the problem then. If the Tau have some sort of civil war, it's going to affect the army. They have to put on a new rule book.
Still, despite the dystopian nightmare that is Tau society, and that they are likely all pawns at the beck and call to so many ethereals, it is still true that the overarching principles of the greater good are more appealing than some other races. If you happened upon some Tau yourself and were generally behaving peacefully, they are, for example, unlikely to want to skin you alive, as might the Dark Eldar, and then parade your skin suit around for the entertainment of others, nor would they want to dissolve
which we have already talked about.
you whilst you're still conscious from the inside out, as giant teeth-bearing maggots infest every space in your body, as might the Tyranids, or subject you to months of endless torture and dogmatic interrogation to reveal irrelevant facts for the purposes of dusty administrative record-keeping, as would the Imperium. So while we may deliberately drown ourselves in the bleak horror of the future, you cannot say that it is not the case that, comparatively speaking, the Tau are the lesser of so many evils. It simply depends on if you're an individual who prefers to deal with reality in a hard and unvarnished sense, or live in the blissful ignorance of the societal, mind-controlling nightmare you're facing. The greater good teaches, for lack of a better verb, that all sentient beings play an equal and important role in Tau society, that trivial conflicts only disrupt the progress toward a united Tau and fulfilling the greater good. The Tau, unlike other races, have no desires to break down, destroy, purge, or otherwise exterminate others' culture. They perceive those who choose to resist their enlightened philosophy with more along the lines of confusion and contempt, baffled to come to an understanding of how these individuals are unable to see the truth of the greater good, which again tells you, without direct evidence, further suggestion that they are a brainwashed cult who can't see outside their own space. To this end, the Tau will generally attempt some form of diplomacy instead of operating a kill-on-sight code of conduct, as is often the case for most other races. And as the Tau themselves discovered when first encountering humanity, after their failure to respond, the Imperium simply obliterated them with no questions asked. However, the Tau are not zombies and have come thankfully quickly to understanding that for some races, attempts at diplomacy are just futile. And so when dealing with the races that we know to be inherently unrelentingly aggressive, like the Orcs, Tyranids, and to a degree Chaos, they've come to understand painfully that these races are never going to be interested in their strangers, just a friend you have.
Chaos will deal with you. You just have to submit. You just have to give in. Listen to the whispers. You can talk with chaos. That's a problem. You shouldn't talk with chaos because the whispers get in your head.
Haven't met philosophy. The being ready for combat when encountering these forces is likely the more prudent course of action, and these races have been basically blacklisted by the Tau, and they no longer want to try and convince them to join their special greater good club. Thank you very much. The Tau also seek to expand their empire in what are known as the spheres of expansion. These are basically periods of great expansion whereby they will to a degree conquer and absorb the worlds they want to expand outward to. And while the Tau themselves and some of their allies certainly fall under the willful suggestion of the Ethereals, it's questionable as to how other races will behave in this way. It's difficult to know how effective the concept of the greater good will be in uniting an empire that relies in part on a citizenry who are mentally guided by their senior caste. If other races the Tau Empire absorb are less receptive to the suggestion of the Ethereals, it could spell a small or even a significant level of disruption for the Tau within their harmonious order.
That is actually a very good point. So what if you bring in somebody with a large enough injection that the mind fucking doesn't work? And what if they start to find a way to break other people out of the mind fucking? Then you have insurrection, civil war.
Tau Empire consists of the 5 castes, as previously mentioned, and the castes themselves do not vie for any kind of ranked order, because all their roles, be it a worker, warrior, are seen as equally important to the overall goals of the Tau. Within each caste, they do have a ranking system woven into their naming conventions, La being a lower ranking caste member and O being a higher rank. Each caste uses the 5 universal ranks, but then have specific designations relevant to their roles in each caste. For example, in the fire caste from lowest to highest, you have warrior, veteran, hero, knight, and then commander. The fire caste is likely the most well known to those outside the Tau Empire. This is the military and warrior caste. While often a little shorter in height than an average human and with a muscular build, but still generally physically weaker than your average human, Tau generally like to come up with careful plans than rush in with bloodthirsting emotion. They also prefer to hit and run rather than dig in for a battle of attrition. So often their warfare is about drawing out an enemy or making a tactical retreat to gain an upper hand and secure an overall victory. The Earth caste is not singularly about construction and infrastructure, it's more comprehensive and contains engineers, scientists, laborers, and technicians. The Earth caste are the builders of Tau cities, but also those involved in the research and development of some of their most powerful technological leaps forward. And while containing your average hard laborer, they'll also have artisans.
All right, so are we essentially going with the thought that the reason they advanced so quickly is because the reunification of the greater good had them focused, and essentially to put it in grand strategy terms, you put all your empire points into research for X amount of turns in order to generate new tech. Is that essentially what the answer is for how they got so advanced so quickly? That's just what I'm putting out there. That's what I'm putting out there. I'm going to make sure that I understand this is where this is going with that answer.
To embellish and drive the visual culture of the Tau forward. The Earth caste ranks lowest to highest are worker, senior, overseer, engineer, and planner. The water caste concerns are with trade and diplomacy. They seek to ensure smooth communication and diplomacy, both with existing and potentially new allies for the Empire. Water caste often embody the very nature of the ethereal art of suggestion, and on more than one occasion water caste have been attributed with turning non-Tau worlds toward the path of the greater good without a shot ever having been fired. The water caste ranks, again lowest to highest, are bureaucrat, envoy, magister, diplomat, and ambassador. The air caste are so in more than just name. They function as the naval force for the Tau. Both.
If this guy was creative, every time greater good, he would have had Hot Fuzz clip the greater good. If he was creative, I would have done that if I made this video. Every time I would have had a clip from Hot Fuzz, everybody goes the greater good.
Space itself and planetary dropship operations. The air caste, though, perhaps unintentionally live up to their title in that many of them bear disturbing physical traits from extended operation in zero gravity, in the form of them having hollowed bones. And this means that they often refuse to step foot on a planet proper, because heavy gravity environments can lead them to suffer broken bones very easily. Often considered better pilots than the Imperium can supply due to their more responsive and advanced fighter craft, but the Tau also lack the grizzled combat experience of the Imperial Navy. The air caste's ranks lowest to highest are messenger, carrier, pilot, captain, and admiral. Lastly, of course, are the Ethereals. As discussed already, the real leadership of the Tau Empire and the guardians of the religio-political teachings of the Tau Va. Rarely are they significantly present on a battlefield, but their presence, even if not visible, is usually assumed. The Ethereal caste ranks lowest to highest are prince, prelate, king, holy, and ethereal. The Tau, unlike most other races in the galaxy, shy away from physical, bloody combat. There are a few Tau who you find punching an orc's face to pieces, or ripping through Imperial armor like it were paper, nor opting for a session of headbutting each other for a bit of a laugh to see who falls into unconsciousness first. Now, for the Tau, when it comes to military engagements, they enjoy two things most readily: fighting at a distance and careful planning. Tau also prefer to get the fighting over and done with as quickly as possible, and seemingly lack the stomach for long, drawn-out battles of attrition. The Tau way is one of laying down a powerful strike to crush the enemy as quickly as possible, laying traps and using external factors to their tactical advantage, and to that end, they'll often prefer to abandon an existing outpost if they're outnumbered, regroup, plan, and employ an appropriate stratagem to crush the invaders. In some ways, this holds a lot of sense to it. The Imperium, while fiercely loyal and always a fan of dying to the last man because the Emperor will judge you, while somewhat romantic, it's not especially practical, always. The Tau approach tends to lean towards a logical reasoning, disconnected from the emotion of sacrificial loyalty. On the other hand, sometimes the only way to win an ongoing vicious campaign of slaughter in the 41st millennium is by digging in and refusing to surrender no matter the cost, and something the Imperium of Man, Eldar, and just about all other races have learned over the millennia. The Tau, while logical, seem to lack the real stomach for the grim realities that they face. Realities like alien horrors who have no concept of retreat, or fanatical superhuman warriors.
I mean, yeah, Nids don't retreat. Orcs don't like to retreat unless there's a complete breakdown of fighting, of command. And proper Imperials will never retreat. They will die to the end. And the Eldar, well, I guess they're not going to retreat either. We haven't done enough on Eldar for me to talk about that. And Chaos, they'll retreat when they've been beaten enough. Let's go back to the warp.
Who will gladly exterminate every trace of you by any means and any cost necessary if required to do so. There are individual exceptions, of course, and the Tau, moreover, have found convenient ways to get around the fact that they prefer not to get their hands dirty when it comes to meat-grinding battlefield slaughters that are all too common in the dark future. Why fight a battle when you can have your minions do it for you? The Tau will often use the Kroot as their melee-based infantry. Now, the Kroot are far more warlike race than the Tau themselves, and they're not only found in the eastern fringe region where the Tau originate, but they are concentrated here. The Kroot are deceptive in that they appear feral and savage, but are actually capable of sniping specific high-value targets from enemy units or others such as communication units and so on. They then will emerge from cover to smash the uncoordinated remnants of their targets, and this is where they would diverge from the Tau, as the ensuing close-quarter combat is truly savage, instinctive, and animalistic. And the Kroot are more than happy to take a pause mid-battle and bite chunks out of fallen enemy for a bit of fast energy on the go. And whilst these displays are distasteful for Tau warriors, it's tolerated, as the Tau are very aware of the critical role the Kroot play for them, and will turn a blind eye to such matters. The numbers of Kroot and their passion for battle make them an invaluable ally for the Tau, yet they operate far more in mercenary attitude than adhering to the true teachings of the Tau Va. The Tau will, generally speaking, use fairly simplistic and age-old battle tactics of using their firecast units to soften up an enemy at range before allowing their Kroot supporting fighters to jump in and take the brunt of the dirty fighting. Kroot carnivore squads utilizing Kroot hounds play a powerful, albeit unpleasant role here in their ability to track enemy before engaging in brutal savagery. The Kroot have even trained their hounds to rip at the weak points of known enemy, the joints of Space Marine power armor, for example. And these squads can also be seen to use Krootox, a large creature who can serve as a mobile weapon platform. And it's believed that Kroot eats their prey not simply for sustenance, but they can also begin to, over time, adopt traits of their target, increased muscle mass, for example, or enhanced sensory abilities. They can also begin to display traits from their victim's culture, so they might exhibit not only physical but social tendencies as well. And while this may lend similarities to Tyranids, there's no suggestion of any relation to the same process. In fact, it would be likely very dangerous for Kroot to ingest Tyranid flesh, because who knows what invasive DNA they could unwittingly bring into themselves, and furthermore, open themselves up to developing tyrannic sympathies or higher receptiveness to follow the commands of the hive mind should it ever enter the system. One would hope that the Kroot would be aware of these inherent dangers.
Makes sense. Makes sense. You know what? I would assume Nid DNA is programmed with the psychic abilities, and it would eventually multiply and take you over.
Because of their comparatively weak physique, coupled with the fact that the Tau just generally prefer to fight at a distance, they have to that end developed a range of weapons and force-multiplying platforms that enable the Tau to play to their personal preferences. And this means careful planning and tactical analysis. The Tau preference is rarely one of emotional reaction or aggression, but assessing the best possible outcome. And this is another admirable trait for the Tau, and again a relatively unusual one in the darkened galaxy of the future. To be able to make such objective planning, the Tau will even abandon a base if it comes under attack, dismantle important apparatus, and then return later when they have a higher chance of successfully retaking the position. The Tau also will use two primary tactics known as Killing Blow and Patient Hunter. As their names describe, these are a highly focused, directed attack to knock out high-value targets in a strike effort, and the second more of an ambush when an enemy will be lured from a position of strength into a weaker kill zone before being destroyed. Unlike many forces in the galaxy, because the Tau do not combine their ranged and melee combat as commonly as other races, their tactics and battle organization also differ to allow for these roles to be appropriately engaged. And this means they're seen to deploy in formations that are ancient to human history, where the Tau with their rifles will form a front rank of range power to soften up targets, while the Kroot melee will wait behind, ready to leap forward as and when the enemy have closed the gap enough. This will enable the Tau warriors to retreat, take up a new position, ready to engage again at a safe distance. And you can likely imagine what Imperial soldiers might think of such tactics. The Tau possess a variety of infantry-based range
Cowardly Zetos.
weapons, but it's worth simply mentioning primarily the base pulse rifle. This is essentially the Tau lasgun, and unfortunately for the Imperium, it beats mankind's offering on both power and range, giving the Tau warrior the ability to fire extensive repeating rounds. The pulse rifle uses powerful electromagnets to fire a subatomic particle, which then breaks down, creating a plasma pulse upon leaving the weapon.
Now, this brings back to the comment from yesterday during the video where the Tau technology, while not as overall advanced as Imperial Man, as the Empire, but they could very easily leapfrog because of the dictates of what the Empire is like right now, because they do not advance. They only sit on what they know because they've made it heretical to advance technology, which is retarded, if you ask me.
As the Tau utilize electromagnetic weaponry, they also have access to railguns, which are projectile-based and fire rounds as you would expect at an extremely high velocity, the result being, as you might expect, dealing considerable damage to the target. The Tau also somewhat exclusively lean heavily towards using battle suits for their warriors to fight in. Similarly to a Grey Knight's Dread Knight, Tau battle suits are powerful combat exoskeletons, and unlike most other forces that use some kind of exoskeleton warframes as a highly specialized powerful support unit, the Tau use them far more commonly. For the Tau, they make up an important part of the general Firecast forces. And additionally, the Tau have been continually making significant leaps forward in the advancement of their technology, and the battle suit is one of their highest achievements so far. Battle suits are more than just powerful tools, they are devastating force multipliers assigned to only the most skilled Tau warriors, and enable a Tau force to lay down suffocating levels of fire or highly focused specific power to punch through heavy, high-value targets. Combining their railgun tech with smart missile systems, the battle suits smother enemies with withering levels of fire. Their missile systems being particularly feared, as cover will not protect. The missiles fire and are drone-guided, and as such will find the trajectory to their target regardless of cover. Tau battle suits are formed of a lightweight yet extremely strong nanocrystalline alloy. The suit's angles are formed much like armored tanks of the 20th century, in that their design shapes are hoped to allow solid projectiles to safely deflect off the suit. The alloy is then coated with a liquid metal finish to help reflect varying degrees of laser fire. Despite their specifically different tactics, the Tau are a relatively flexible force, combining both firepower and flexibility, and making use of their advanced weaponry and playing to its strengths in logical fashion. They make use of allies to fill in for their own shortcomings, and make use of simple AI drones to either engage or assist in protecting troops. As with most races, they also sport heavy vehicle weaponry that can deal devastating levels of firepower, and the key difference with the Tau is that their forces are far more specialized than other races.
I'm starting to get drowsy here. This guy's going on too long. Gotta tell a good story or something, not just. It's like he's just reading off the stats. That's the problem with this video. He's just reading stats a lot. He's not. There's no passion in this.
While the Imperium, for example, has specialists, they're usually also capable of taking on multi-roles as necessary. The same to an extent for other races, give or take. And the Tau, though, as with their society, take on a specific role, and that is the limit of their role. In some regards, this can be a positive to have highly specialized forces who know their role specifically and know that role well, but the obvious downside is that once you've lost a specific unit in your battle force, it can undermine your capabilities and your tactics. And this, though, is where the battle suits come in, as they're highly mobile and able to fill in any gaps across a battlefield, as well as react quickly to changing situations that could place vulnerable units at risk. Now, the Tau Empire would go through multiple expansions in its history, but we begin at the second expansion of the Tau Empire, which was launched with the New Horizon Accelerator engine, allowing the Tau to achieve longer space travel than ever before. The Tau were also now reinforced with their Kroot allies, and a Tau known as...
That's a good point. I did want to punch Wes Hammer in the face. It's a good point.
Commander Puretide would, through this expansion, achieve legendary notoriety, crushing an Orc invasion, where through his calculating tactics and Tau principles of long-range engagement, somehow made the prospect of battle unenjoyable, even for Orcs. Puretide was not simply a warrior and commander either. He had mastered all aspects of combat and military tactics, and would bring new ideas for Tau warriors to learn from, and take a more balanced and flexible attitude to battle. Puretide would tutor promising prodigies of the Firecast, and many of his aspirants would go on to carve their names and achievements into Tau history themselves. Yet this training would also instill a bitter rivalry between his aspirants who all wanted his attention and approval. Yet still they would share a close bond and respect. Now some of those most notable aspirants were Shasera, Caius, and joining them, Shovar. Now, they had all previously demonstrated strong skill both in battle and strategy, and now they were here to learn directly from the master. Each had individual styles to warfare and relevant philosophical thinking to pair with their approach to military engagements. As their training reached completion, each would leave taking their new names and leave to fight as Tau commanders across war zones throughout the Tau Empire. Commander Pure Typo would suffer serious wounding during the destructive Damocles War with the Imperium. Unsure as to if they would be able to retain his experiences in memory devices, that is Tau mind-captured devices used to preserve the former commander's experience so that it would be accessible by later Tau commanders, and this would be known as the Pure-Tide Engram neurochip. The Ethereals wanted to scan his mind to retain its high value to the Empire. Now, these Engram chips would be installed in the minds of Fireblades and Battlesuit commanders, enabling them to function with a common understanding of Pure-Tide's experience and adapt to any tactical situation. The unforeseen downside to this was that those who had been implanted with the chip were unable then to draw from their existing own personal experience, and so consequently would suffer losses as a result of being unable to adapt to situations that they may have actually had their own experiences with. But this situation also further evidences to the Ethereals having the imagination and the willpower to use mind control devices against lower Tau castes. Later they would be ordered to undergo forced surgery to remove these engram chips, with the unfortunate consequence they left the warrior leaders drooling vegetables. The extraction of the engram chips effectively lobotomized them. Now, the Damocles War and many of the events surrounding it deserves far more of an expansive detailing than I can give here today. But for now, suffice to say, the Imperium smashed the Tau like a force they could never have imagined. Yet through one thing and another, the Tau still managed to emerge victorious. Yet this initial war with the Imperium left them with a humbling understanding that they had fought against only a small taste of the true power of the Imperium. The Tau leadership made a decision that Pure-Tide's existing current pupils should be placed into stasis to ensure that they could call upon his powerful teachings and have commanders available when it was critically necessary.
I mean, that's the thing. Tau, they may sound impressive, but we're talking about forces that went up against chaos for millennia. Orcs, Nids, say what you will. Space Marines will kick your ass. They know what they're doing. It's experience sometimes trumps a lot of stuff.
One of these pupils was, of course, Shasera, Commander Shadowsun. Shovar, now known as Commander Farsight, would continue to lead the Tau forces
all I'm hearing is Shovar.
In a period of reclamation to secure lost territory from the Imperium. Additionally beneficial for the Tau would be that the Imperium found itself yet again distracted, this time by the Tyranid High Fleet Behemoth, which significantly diverted their attentions and resources. Commander Farsight would cross the Damocles Gulf, what would be known as the Farsight Expedition. During this time, he spent extensive time studying the Imperium, their tactics, and any recorded fragments of useful information he could pull together to expand his abilities in countering and exploiting the humans, while at the same time learning from some of their approaches to battle and tightening up weak points in his own battle plans. With the Imperial withdrawal, though, the Orc menace had already begun to exploit the weakened planets on this side of the Gulf, and so by the time the expedition arrived, infestations of Orcs had already become established and were spreading. Farsight was disturbed by this Orc infestation, so much so that he decided it more important to halt and then totally destroy the Orc threat. This would take priority over completing the reconquest of other Tau worlds, which were now soft targets because of the Imperium's other concerns. This decision by Farsight was directly against the instructions of the Ethereals, who had tasked him with securing the Tau worlds here. After costly engagements on the world of Atari Vo, Farsight's force would return to the Tau enclaves, yet on returning found to their horror that while they'd been fighting Orcs with great difficulty themselves, in their absence, yet more Orcs had assaulted the other Tau enclave worlds. The war boys of the Green
Go boys, go my boys.
Ran riot across the Tau planets in space, and it would become clear that the war boss Farsight had been hunting at Atari Vo had in fact doubled back to the Enclave space, united the Orcs there, and then waged a crushing assault on the Enclave planets. Commander Farsight was greatly troubled by his failings here, his lack of vision and understanding that had already proved so costly. After placing himself into a lengthy period of reflective meditation, despite all the chaos going on, Farsight would lead the Tau with inspired actions from world to world, destroying the Orc in all manner of creative solutions. Finally, freeing the Enclave worlds from the horrors of the Orc assault, and Farsight himself hunting down the Orc chief and by all accounts besting him in single combat. Farsight had won and restored his reputation, but the threat of the Green Menace still remained, and this would not be the last clash between the Tau and Orc. In fact, notably, a distant world, Arthas Morlock, whose surface showed little signs of life or settlement, but having just liberated their own enclaves, the Orcs should not be allowed to establish a footing on this planet.
See, that's a good point. The Tau has already been established. They don't have the stomach for the nastier shit, and the Imperium of Man will definitely, if I can't have it, you can't have it either. That's a mentality.
so near to Tau
Salty
worlds.
Earth.
Farsight they would encounter a stranger sight of what appeared to be an ancient temple on this seemingly dead world. Orcs who were falling in battle would cause strange bursts of light and energy from the ground itself, an event never witnessed before by the Tau. Farsight was transfixed by this curiosity until this disk of light and energy would pour out red-horned creatures with blades as dark as space itself, screaming unintelligible war cries and slaughtering the orcs. Other pink entities would tumble out from the light, sending out streams of brightly coloured flame that turned any Tau they touched to stone, water, or screaming scorched bone. The flesh disintegrated from their bodies. Farsight ordered a retreat, but his gaze was caught by this energy, this portal, this connection to somewhere. His eyes were filled with the void. What was this thing? A tear in reality? A gateway to another dimension? It seemed infinite, yet he could
Don't listen to the whispers.
feel the call of billions upon billions of deaths. This interaction would fundamentally alter Farsight from here on. He had borne witness to a danger unimaginable by the Tau, but before having time to consider its implications, he would black out, thankfully being retrieved by his warriors and returned to their flagship. As the orcs now continued to fight on the surface, seemingly spurred on by the violence spilling across
Orcs like, wait a minute, chaos, yeah, let's go, woo, bigger fight.
the battlefield, the Tau sought to retreat and disengage, and thankfully for them, the orcs seemed now far more concerned with battling the red-horned aliens and pink tumbling oddities than they did the Tau, and were throwing themselves ever more aggressively and enthusiastically into the fight, as if by some long-trained instinct or rivalry. Yet Farsight would now countermand this retreat. Even the ethereals attached agreed that they must investigate this new danger. Planetside again, they would re-engage these new aliens, who now were joined by flying creatures bearing axes and whips. The tumbling pink oddities and red-horned sword-bearers joined them, and Farsight found himself engaged with...
So basically, we hear bloodthirsters, and then probably some demon princes, definitely, and of course, there's probably a bloodthirster. Not bloodletters. There's bloodletters, at least probably a bloodthirster. And definitely hounds.
One of the massive flying creatures. Worse still was the majority of the initial Tau force deployed were killed in short order in any manner of unpleasant fashions. In compounding the agony, an ethereal was slaughtered, cut from head to groin, as its flaccid halves of body would tumble apart in a fountain of blood. A screaming cry came from the Tau re-establishing battle lines, and Farsight would restore order amid the panic and reform teams to continue holding their own. Despite their best efforts, though, another ethereal would be gored to death, and the Fire Warriors were now openly breaking. They'd never fought foes like this that seemed to appear as quickly as they were dispatched. Sometimes it felt like for every one they killed, two would appear. But Farsight had noted that these new foes were avoiding some statues around this apparently abandoned temple. He would see via his suit's visual feed from another battle group, one of the statues wore a hexagrammatic medallion, and even Farsight found that to look upon it eased the pain he had felt ever since looking into the void space. Trusting his instincts, he ordered the battle group to retrieve this object and carry it toward these new horrors. The report came back, it was working. The oddities were retreating at the sight of this object. It was an engagement that no Tau had ever seen before, and as a resulting tactic that was entirely unfathomable to them. Farsight would consider teachings from Master Puretide. To secure victory, the wise must adapt. And adapt he would, ordering his warriors to avoid spilling blood, and if they took any hits, to immediately retreat and re-engage. His instincts would prove correct, as the red alien creatures seemed to howl in despair, weakened without the blood they apparently so craved and were fueled by. These events that the Tau and orcs had unwittingly triggered through their orgy of bloodshed, as several of these winged giant alien creatures made for Farsight, he would fling the hexagrammatic medallions toward the energy void disc, and before the aliens could come crashing down upon him, a massive blast erupted from the void portal. Every Tau came crashing down into the dust, and as they came to, assisting each other, they looked around to see no sign at all of these aliens from out of the unknown void. The Tau here would prove victorious over the orcs as well, but all of this was a hollow victory. The ethereals had all been slaughtered, leaving the Tau without guidance. The enclaves had lost their spiritual leaders. It was a catastrophic and unprecedented loss. Farsight was even more troubled now than previously, though. These creatures, his visions, what were these aliens? Why were they so bizarre in appearance and their abilities, and seemingly like the orcs sadistically violent? Why did these creatures exist at all? Did they not have homeworlds and societies of their own? The more he considered it, the more it disturbed him. Was there more to the galaxy than developing your culture, progressing your territory, and societal unity? Something far more sinister, it seemed, lay beyond their comprehension, but not, perhaps...
Yeah, specifically, that was definitely corn. That was totally corn.
...beyond their imagination. Far from Homeworld, with the ethereals slain, Farsight could not shake his conclusions that there was some alternate, perhaps parallel reality that ran alongside their own. It would explain many things, and all seemed to be fitting into place the more he ordered the events and conclusions from his experiences so far. It seemed to Commander Farsight that the ethereals must have had some knowledge of this, yet chose to hide it from their people, keeping them in a state of ignorance. He would feel confusion in his own spirit now as well, a sense that the castes here may well be better off without the restricting, controlling ethereals.
And there it is. It was talked about earlier. Now suddenly, without the mind fucking going on, you're having free thoughts, and maybe, just maybe, realize maybe there's a better path.
ordered everyone as to what they should be doing. It had all seemed sensible in the past, but now somehow they seemed cold, uncaring, lacking empathy for their fellow Tau. Were the ethereals controlling the castes? The more Farsight considered it, the more his conclusions about the strange void creatures all seemed to fall into place. It was if, without the ethereal's presence, he was able to clearly think for the first time, that his mind was unclouded and unrestricted. He disturbed even himself with such thoughts. He couldn't possibly vocalize these thoughts to others, but these conclusions seemed of such importance and scale that he couldn't simply put them back in the box. His eyes were open. He could see the danger to the Tau was not only their enemies, but now it was himself as well, and his dark, troubling thoughts. Oshova would retreat into self-imposed exile. The Tau already have a detailed history, even for their short existence, and this is not the end of Oshova. And for the Tau themselves, they have only begun to just learn the ways of the galaxy in the 41st millennium. The Tau are a far more complex society than appears on the surface. There are many ethical and moral issues going on with their ideology, and Farsight was the first to see the truth of this. The ethereals will not relinquish their positions of power easily, and the other peoples of Commander Puretide lie in stasis. The future for the Tau as they begin to see can be no peaceful or simple affair. They will learn the hard way, as humanity has had to for so long. The darkness and horrors of the galaxy are unrelenting.
They've only had a taste of one Chaos God. I mean, to go up against Khorne the first time, that's pretty nasty because that's the unrelentingness of it, but still 3 more. All right. That's it. Thank you, Kel, for the Tau lore. It was informative, but this is not one of the better ones. This guy has some definite problems getting his point across. But we are not done because yesterday, Jed also put forth some Doctor Who stuff, some Doctor Who videos. That's what the other one. Now, the way these are clip compilations, 5 minutes each. And we're probably going to stop them and talk about each one, at least to my ability. To my ability, we'll talk about them. So that's how we're going to try and avoid any problems with the what are you doing here? Sorry, with that stuff. So here we go. Let's have a little fun with Doctor Who. Let's have a little fun. Oh, that made me feel better. It's good stuff. It's always good stuff. Hang on, I got to blow my nose again. Hold on a second. Okay, here we go. Let's share. First one. Yeah, this is the first one. Okay. Here we go. All right, here we go. Nah, there'll be no. Well, the super chat alone covers the demonetization, so don't worry, because it was done through super chat or tip. That covers any claims, so don't worry.
Any moment now, he's coming.
Who's coming?
The Doctor.
Oh, so they're all going to be okay. So it's going to be a combined like that. Okay.
You are the Doctor.
Yep.
All right. This is the. This is. I believe this is Matt Smith's transformation. God, they did it again. They did it again. You guys are all. You got the ads at now. God damn it! I fucking hate that ad thing. They're rolling it out for real. They're fucking it up for real. God damn, I hate the ad thing. I'm sorry, everybody. If I'm gonna. Sorry about the ad thing. I have no control over it. I can't believe they're going through with it. It's retarded.
And I always will be.
You may
All right. So all right. So I can see what these are. Okay.
be a doctor, but I'm the doctor. The definite article, you might say.
But times change.
All right. Matt Smith's outgoing speech was really cool because it reminded you, because it had been his whole era had been a little stilted because they stopped the seasons and we ran up to the 50th, and when we had to wait for Trenzalore and all that kind of stuff. So we had grown used to Matt Smith for a long time again. And he had been so dynamic. And we were ready for Capaldi. I was ready for Capaldi. But it was such a good speech. And my only problem with that is that, the regeneration is a blink and you miss it. He just goes from Matt Smith to Peter Capaldi without the explosion of power. That's my only problem with that.
And so must I.
It's the end. But the moment has been prepared for.
So this is all about regeneration. Okay. Oh, the classic Hartnell speech.
One day, I shall come back.
But not like this.
Yes, I shall come back. Until then, there must be no regrets, no tears, no anxieties.
I wear a veil as he wore a face.
I know the funny thing here is they're both wearing wigs at this moment because they have both shaved their heads for different roles.
For the
Raggedy Man.
same reason. To be accepted.
Oh, it just disappears, doesn't it? Everything you are, gone
Well,
in a moment.
Right there. This is the first time we see modern God, I just lost the word. Regeneration. First time we see modern regeneration where it's going to be the explosive thing in it. Because all other Doctor Who regenerations either been done off camera or in a weird metamorphic way without any real super special effects.
You can't see me, can you? You look at me and you can't see me.
Believe me, he is more scared.
That was a very cool moment right there where he had called her during the regeneration. And you have a doctor here and a doctor there. That was such a cool moment to reassure Clara that that's him, that it's still him. It's just a new me. That was such a cool moment.
Than anything you can imagine right now.
You have an idea what that's like?
And don't be afraid.
Please, just.
For me, I could do so much more. So much more.
So much passion in Tennant's speech there. That was a lot of passion in that one. Don't want to go so much more, but then morality. I have to save him because I'm the doctor and I save people.
You can't just change what I look like without consulting me.
But this is what I get.
Of course, also this is the karma for Dr. Victorious. Right here. The karma of Dr. Victorious. You have to now pay the price for your arrogance.
My reward. I can feel it. But it's not fair!
But I maintain I have the right to decide what I look like.
Even if I change, it feels like dying. Everything I am dies. Some new man goes sauntering away. Oh. And I'm dead. Lived too long.
Please, don't die.
Time Lords have this little trick. It's sort of a way of cheating death.
Yeah.
Except it means I'm going to change. We all change. When you think about it.
This is why the speech is so good. His mannerism. We keep coming back to it here. It's delivery is so nailed it. Oh, it's so good.
We are all different people, all through our lives. And that's okay. That's good. You've got to keep moving so long.
Of course, I love the 50th here. I love the 50th moment right here. This is so good.
As you remember all the people that you used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just go right back there for half a second here.
All the people that you used to be.
Minus Capaldi, the doctor. That's the doctor. Ain't no black powerful women's. Ain't no Jody. Ain't no gay black shooty. The doctor. All you're missing is Capaldi right there. That's so good. That was such a great moment.
I will not forget one line of this. Before I go, I just want to tell you, you were fantastic. Not one day. I swear. And you know what? So was I. I will always remember when the doctor was me.
I will always remember when the doctor was me. We remember too. Dude, when Moffat wanted to write, Moffat could fucking write, dude. I don't want to go. Raggedy Man.
I don't want to go.
It will sing to you, Doctor. The universe will sing you to your sleep.
No. Please.
So there it is. That was not a good transition. That was the only problem with that scene. The transition from Smith to Capaldi. Just that wasn't good. I wouldn't have lingered on that moment there too, because Peter Capaldi had demon look in him. No. Listen, Capaldi was great. He just at times had shit material to work with. I thought Capaldi's one of my favorites. I loved what he did. I loved his performance. Always had so much to it. It was just the writing got worse and worse was the problem. No, we could do it. Second one's only 5 minutes. We'll do it. No, we're doing it today. I'm fine. My voice is holding out. We're good. Let's keep going. We're going to finish it up. Doctor, be kind. Here we go.
His name is the Doctor.
You wait a moment, Doctor. Let's get it right.
I loved Capaldi's TARDIS.
I've got a few things to say to you.
I dream I'm this adventurer, daredevil, a man, the Doctor.
A man who could change his face.
Yeah, I know.
And he took me away from home in his magical machine.
Why'd you fly off in the box with him?
Because it's amazing. Because I see wonders.
The Doctor is a legend woven throughout history. When disaster comes, he's there.
Keep the whole world safe. The Doctor, he
Oh, just shut up, Bill.
helps people. That's what he does. He has saved your lives so many times and you never even knew he was there. All the things I've seen him do for me. For all of us. He does it alone, Mum.
I am the Doctor. I am what stands between you and them. I've been standing by the gates of your world, keeping you all safe since you crawled out of the slime. I'm not stopping now.
He never stops. He never stays. He never asks to be thanked.
Why'd you put up with us then?
In amongst 7 billion is someone like you.
No. So that's a problem. They're sliding in part of the crap stuff. Like they could leave everything Bill out of this. Leave all Bill out of this.
I'm never going to see you again.
You can't.
I'll see you again, mister.
Amelia.
Clara.
Hello. You stupid old man. Who's Amelia?
The first face this face saw.
Go back.
What are you going to do?
I've got a TARDIS. Same old life, last of the time.
That audio there.
God, you rude.
A life this long. Do you understand what it is? It's a battlefield, like this one. And it's empty. Because everyone else has fallen.
I told them about the doctor.
Time. Time doesn't pass. The passage of time is an illusion, and life is the magician. Because life only lets you see one day at a time.
See, that's why Capaldi was so good. Every line he put us all into it. He gave 150% for sometimes a 20% script. That's why I love Capaldi. Even when he was doing shit, it was still bam, bam, bam. I'm drawn in because he had the presence, he had the gravitas to be the Doctor.
You could come with me.
Imagine if time all happened at once.
I can come.
Of course you can, yeah.
Every moment of your life laid out around you like a city. Streets full of buildings made of days. The day you were born, the day you die.
It could be anything. You could walk among the stars.
How long are you going to stay with me?
Forever.
Well, most people, when they don't understand something, they frown. You smile. Time and relative dimension in space. TARDIS for short. It means life. This is the gateway to everything that ever was, or ever can be.
You could stay here, fill your life with work and food and sleep, or you could go anywhere.
Or you could go with a madman in the blue box and have adventures.
Is it always this danger?
Yes.
Ready? Make your choice.
It's your choice.
Past or future.
So, where do you want to go, eh? What do you want to see?
Every star in the universe. We're going to see them all.
If it's time to go, remember what you're leaving. Remember the best. My friends have always been the best of me.
Don't die. Because if you do, I think everybody in the universe might just go cold.
Can't I ever have peace? Can't I rest?
I can't let you die without knowing you are loved by so many and so much.
It was so weird when they had him with the long mullet here. That wasn't a good look during this moment here.
And by no one more than me.
Letting go of the Doctor is so hard.
But I've seen him. I know him. I love him.
Human progress isn't.
And that was her mistake. Don't fall in love with the Doctor. Clara made the same mistake too. Don't fall in love with the Doctor.
Measured by industry. It's measured.
He said saying a companionship fall in love. River was not a companion. River was a separate entity. And her falling in love with the Doctor was completely different. But the companions don't fall in love with the Doctor. Don't do it.
By the value you place on life.
Have a fantastic life.
That's what defines an age. That's what defines a species.
We all change, and that's okay. That's good. You've got to keep moving so long as you remember all the people that you used to be.
Never be cruel, never be cowardly, and never ever eat pears.
I will not forget one line of this.
So never be cruel, never be cowardly. And Jodie was all of those things, cruel and cowardly. She was cowardly and she was cruel. She was callous. She was heartless. She had no empathy. And she was a complete coward, total coward.
Laugh hard.
Not one day. I swear.
Run fast. Run.
I will always remember when the Doctor was me.
Be kind. Doctor, I let you go.
No. Don't let him go. Hold on, Capaldi. Go back in time and hold on. We don't get Dr. Karen. We don't get Tenant 14. We don't get Shooty Who. You hold on. Yeah, those are great, man. Those were great. That's the good stuff. That's when the writing was great, and the actors were all great there, except for Bill. Be kind, please, Ryan. I rewound. Actually, I let it. I would do the auto rewind. Yeah, listen, they could stay with a little magic. You could always do the reset. Could always do a reset. It's within it, but they'll never do it. It's done. It's over, and I hate that. All right, we are gonna wrap it up. We got nothing else. No. We were just finishing up the paid, the what you guys paid for from yesterday when I had to tap out because I was literally too sick to go on. But today it's just mainly a throat thing, and we've accomplished it. We accomplished it. Not much outside of just catching up today. Once again, in my opinion, the news is rather weak today. So we'll wrap it up here. No stream tonight. No stream tonight. I have to continue to let my throat rest. Keep hawking stuff. It's starting in my nose now, so I'm getting a little annoyed there. Last thing I need is a congestion thing. Then let's see. Friday, Ballbusters. I'll probably be on Ballbusters tomorrow night, but I will probably be limited in how much I do, depending on how I feel. I will now endeavor to do Scary Movie 1 for chat. Maybe watch his reviews tomorrow. Then Jed and I are watching Running Man for drive-in this weekend. And then Roundtable, I will be well enough because no damn way I'm going to miss Roundtable episode 200. Episode 200 Roundtable. Because if I skipped it, we wouldn't come back until after Thanksgiving. And no. We are doing that. So thank you, everybody, for putting up with me while I'm being sick, but we're doing better. But obviously, you could hear it. I'm not 100%. But we had fun today anyway. Fulfilled my promises. Fulfill more promises. And fuck you, YouTube, for the whole ad thing in the chat. You can go fuck yourself. Stop throttling all our small channels. Let us grow. Anyway. All right, guys. I'm now going to just take the rest of the day off, do a little laundry, and just rest up. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully my voice will be a little bit better than it is today. Until then, guys, thank you for all being here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you next time. Until then, take it easy.